Welcome back, everyone, to step 5 in the 7 steps to exhibition success for CONFEX with Stephen Murtagh, the exhibition guy. We've looked at a couple of things in the last number of sessions, but what I want to cover in this particular session, in session number 5, we want to talk about this idea of engaging to engage. We go to trade fairs to engage with people. Now, I know we've all seen people at trade fairs and they'll sit there for the whole weekend or the whole few days, sit down in the stand, they don't engage with people and tend to be people who don't get the results that they want, which is completely understandable. But when we talk about engaging to engage at trade shows, we talk about the questions we ask, how we engage with our visitors when they're either on the stand or coming onto the stand. How do we engage with them? And what I want to pose a question for you. And one thing we've seen time and time again is to think about what is the worst question you can ask a visitor as an exhibitor. And think about the question that we all ask, a lot of us use time and time again. And if you think back to walking through any exhibition, you'll have heard this question. And the question is, and it's the exhibitor walks up to a visitor and says, "Can I help you?" And the visitor says, "No, thanks," or "I'm okay," or "I'm just looking." And the salesperson or exhibitor is going, "What do I do next?" They're stuck. The conversation's over. They can't engage anymore. It's very difficult to engage anymore. So the deathly question, "Can I help you?" It understandably seems like it should be the right question to ask, but invariably it demands a yes or no answer. And most of the time that answer is no. And that's not a great start. So all I'm suggesting, really, really simple tip for exhibitors, is we just put the word "how" in front of that sentence. How can I help you, as opposed to can I help you? When we say how can I help you, it's engaging. It's encouraging the other person to talk. It's encouraging that conversation. And when you do that, you're far, far more likely to actually have a conversation with your client. And that's really, really important. It's like this idea of what they call open and closed questions. We use a closed question to get commitment from somebody. A closed question being you can say yes or no to, whereas we do an open question to engage with somebody, to actually get information from them. So it's really important that we don't ask that "can I help you" question. We change it to "how can I help you?" And you would be much, much more effective at trade shows. It's tip number 5. But as we look at that and we talk about the questions we ask and how we engage with people, and there's an illustration here of Ted, the movie Ted. And the reason why I've shown you that illustration is because those 3 letters are incredibly important and great way to build a rapport with somebody at an exhibition. So T is for tell me about. So tell me about you, tell me about your business, tell me what you're looking for, whatever it might be. And it's opening up a conversation with the other person. It's also focusing on the other person, which is really important. So T is tell me about. The next letter we look at is E. Explain. So explain to me how that works, or explain to me what challenges you're having, or whatever the question might be. Again, it's focused on the other person. It's not a closed question. It's an open question where you're getting valuable information. You're learning about your visitor. You're learning about your potential customer. And the last letter is D, and the last letter stands for describe. So describe to me how you see this problem being solved, or describe to me what you see as the solution. The reason we use a question like that is we're moving towards finding out how we can actually specifically solve their problem or issue. And when we engage with people at a trade show, we get that information. We have that conversation. We build that relationship. And that's incredibly important that we do that, rather than ask those closed questions. And when we talk about that, because many of us will see at trade shows, you'll see a lot of buyers or people who will come onto a stand who will love and have the conversation. They just want to chat, but will never necessarily buy off you. So we need to think about this idea of having what we call a qualifying question. A question that will determine, by you asking that question, will determine if the person in front of you is a serious buyer. And I can't answer that for you or give you that question because it depends on your business, but it's really important we think about qualifying questions as a way of that value that we can get at trade shows. Talking and spending time with people who are realistically potential customers. And it's really, really important that we do that, because those questions and the right results come from the right questions. We have a limited amount of hours at CONFEX, or any exhibition for that matter. It's important that we maximize that time in front of the right people. So asking the right questions is really, really important. My tip for you, tip number 5, in terms of engaging, when it comes to engaging with visitors at trade shows or at CONFEX, is don't ask, "Can I help you?" Put that little word "how" in front of it, and it will completely change the dynamic of the conversation. And that's something we should do in day-to-day life, but it's very important because the easy option is, can I help you? But unfortunately, it's the most ineffective option as well. So tip number 5, don't ask, can I help you? Ask, how can I help you? Look forward to seeing you all on session 6.